Hello, my name is Tatiana Kop, and the subject of our conversation today is talents. Why do we get talents? Why somebody lost talents he had in his past? Why do we get new talents? And how our talents are connected with our faith. So let me start with my childhood. I was born in 1971 in Kiev, capital of Ukraine. At that point, Ukraine was part of Soviet Union, and what I remember that my first lesson on the subject of atheism I got when I was about 5 years old. Our teachers in kindergarten were showing us the slideshow about those stupid people who believe in God, about those evil priests that are deceiving people just in order to get goods or money from them. And of course, I grew up as an atheist. But when I was about 19 years old, it was during the perestroika time when people were already allowed to speak about anything. I met one young man who started talking to me about God, and I was just laughing back. I was saying like, are you crazy? There is no God, are you kidding me? So he told me, Tanya, there is an easy way to find out. So if you have any need, ask God to do this for you. And if he does, then you know the answer. And that opportunity came to my life shortly. I had a situation when it seemed completely impossible to get what I want from any natural point of view. So I asked God to do this for me, and once again it seemed impossible, no matter which way you look at this. But I got the answer within an hour, and it was exactly what I asked God to do. So I call this day the day when I was born again, because no matter what was happening in my life after that, no matter how much my faith was tested, I never ever had any doubts that God exists. About the same year, probably, yes, or next year, but very soon, I've got a talent of writing poetry. I wrote poetry in Russian, and actually I little bit had the talent when I still was a child. I liked to rhyme words and make small, like very short poems. And I even wrote my own poem when I was about 12 years old. Unfortunately, I didn't save it. My school teacher has it, but I'm not sure I could find her now, because I even don't remember her name. But when I was 19 years old and started believing in God, something incredible happened in my life. The poem started like flowing, in my head. Anywhere I was standing, walking, doing things, so I had to find pencil or pen and to write it down quickly. And I wrote a number of poems, but I didn't show them to everybody, just to certain people, maybe a few people, because I was kind of not confident and shy. And many years passed since then. Of course, there were many changes in my life. I moved to United States, where I am living right now, and I didn't write poems as often as when I was back home. There was a lot of stuff going on in my life, but someday when I was reading Bible, I noticed something I didn't notice before. You see, it's a very interesting thing about Bible. It's why do these people say that, like, I study the Bible all my life long and I still learn more and more new things, because it's really an endless process. So you notice something, and later you notice something else on a new level, so it keeps going. So this parable that I found in the Bible, I knew it. I read it several times, and I could never even think that this all applies to me. So let me remind you the parable of the talents. The owner is going on a trip and he gives to his 3 servants money. The first man is getting 5 talents, the second man is getting 2 talents, and the third one is getting 1 talent. The first 2 men made profits of their owner's money. They increased their talents. Only the third man didn't do anything. He buried his talent. And when the owner came back, he was very angry with this third man. He said, "So take the talent from him and give it to him who had the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away." So basically it's either use it or lose it situation. If you bury your talents, then they will be taken from you and somebody else will get them. That's what this parable is about. So I had to change my attitude. I stopped hiding my poems and posted them on my website to make them available to public. And in a year of 2007 I was introduced to the computer program that allows you to write music. So it was something I would never in my life think is possible for me. Never. I even never dreamed of this. I never had any musical education, I never played any musical instrument, I never sang in my life. But I always loved music with all my heart. Different styles of music, the best of the best in each style. So I started writing my own music, and it was a very painful experience at the beginning. So I had to redo every piece over and over because I couldn't even correct my own mistakes. I could hear that something is wrong, I could hear false notes, but couldn't even find them where they are. It's how bad I was. However, I didn't stop and kept going. I love instrumental music, but the majority of people like songs. They want to hear words. So since I couldn't find anybody to write lyrics for my sons in English, I had to do it myself. And I was thinking, how is that possible? I barely speak English. I make a lot of grammatical errors. But when I started, I have to admit that it wasn't too hard, and I did well. But the next step was seeing my own sons. Once again, I couldn't find anybody to do this for me, so I had to do it myself. And again, I couldn't breathe right. I was singing between the notes. I couldn't hold a note. So I had to sing in small pieces and then to attach them together. It was the only way I could reach an accuracy in singing. And still I was thinking about this as a temporary measure. I didn't imagine myself as a singer. And but I started hearing that voice inside of me, and God was telling me, no, those are your songs, and you are gonna sing them. So the only thing you have to do to start practicing singing every day. And it was very hard to do. I didn't mention a lot of health problems I was getting during this period. I damaged my vocal cords several times. I was getting allergy attacks. So basically the only way I could sing, I had to take antibiotics and do it. And of course there is always somebody around you who would tell you, you just weren't born to sing, it's not for you. But and it's such people are discouraging you very much. But I was thinking to myself, well, yes, I wasn't born to sing, but I wasn't born to read. I wasn't born to walk. There are a lot of things people learn to do in their life. So, and I never saw a baby, 3 months old baby, singing opera arias laying in her crib. So, and I started doing this just because I had faith. The majority of people believe that there is God, but they act like there is no devil. That's what one preacher said. But I know for sure that there is devil, and he is trying to ruin our plans. Since I have a full-time job and a baby, it was hard to find time for my recordings. And every time I was trying to do so, something bad was happening. Either I was getting sick, or my car was burned on my driveway. And this year the satanic forces hit the country I was born. Now is April of 2014. It's when the Russian forces occupied some of territories of Ukraine. So I was grieving about my country so bad, and was so depressed that I was about even to cancel this testimony. I was saying, God, look, the more I pray, the worse things get. But God told me, no, it's not the way we get things done. Have faith and let me fix everything the best possible way, and keep doing what you are doing, your part. So let me summarize everything I told in this testimony. First of all, if we accept the God's talents as a part of His plan for our life, if we don't bury our talents, if we improve them, then He gives us more talents as needed. Second, I do believe that our words and actions change people. And people would rather listen to somebody who achieved something in his or her life than to listen to somebody who is just, spending all his life from one football game to another, or from one TV show to another. So I do believe that we are able to change people's lives. And the last thing I would like to talk about, that I would hate to wake up in the middle of night having a feeling that, I could do this and this and that, and just didn't do anything. It's probably the worst feeling possible. It's so nice, it makes you so happy to know that you could do a lot of things and you did them, and you keep doing them. And now I'm finally inviting you to listen to my new song, which is called Together. Enjoy it. And once again, my name is Tetiana Kopp, and don't waste your talents.